I feel so much better.
The first thing that comes to mind is the model that David Rock came up with, the SCARF model. And in a sense, you can look at that as either if you violate some of the SCARF elements, and I'll say what SCARF is in a second, but if you violate them, then that restricts the ability of communication to enhance teamwork.
I feel at my happiest when people recognize my position in society, when I'm acknowledged for the contribution I make and my opinion is taken into account. It annoys me if people suggest that I'm even slightly ineffective. I also don't like feeling less than other people, and it upsets me if people don't treat me well. I don't like it if someone questions me or my authority or evaluates my performance. I'm very threatened by people and situations that might reduce my status. It's not that it's just about money or titles for me. I need to feel secure in my position in relation to others. I work very hard to be an expert in my field, and I've been promoted due to the quality of work I do, because I do tend to go the extra mile. I enjoy my work and the perks that come with my job. I must ensure that I maintain my relative position and a certain level of prestige, especially after all the hard work I've put in to get there. I look to continuing my learning and constantly improve, trusting that people will acknowledge the effort I've put into things. I try and do better today than I did yesterday.
If you assure an environment or a team atmosphere where people's status is not brought into question, where there is some measure of certainty, even if you don't know what's going to happen, that at least you have the certainty of communicating with each other that you don't know. At least that, so that people are kept up with, that's that authentic and transparency, so that you're not, not telling people because you don't think they'll like it. People who are interested in certainty like to know, even if you don't know.
I love gaining clarity. For instance, making plans. Things must be explicit, clear, structured, and there must be rules. I don't like change. Things must be predictable and specific. Tell me what the time frames and objectives are up front. I am a hard-working 45-year-old woman currently working for an international consulting firm in the United States. The current changes in my organization due to the economic downturn leaves me uncertain of my future, my role, and therefore I am highly stressed and unstable, or rather more fixated on finding stability than moving on to focus on other positive aspects of my life. I find my family to be a source of reward in my life. I can rely on them, and I know exactly what they need from me, and I can adequately plan to provide for their needs. I plan to go back home to my hometown, a familiar and well-known place to me, where I will put together a plan to go about managing my career and my family. This will definitely help me to plan and predict my future and be certain.
So there's certainty, and then autonomy, so that all the members of the team are assured that that they're not going to be bossed around, rather that they have as much right as anyone else, that everybody is on a level. That is, everybody has as much right as anyone else to have their input be heard and to take part in the decision making.
I definitely like to have control over my environment, both at home and at work. I need to feel free to make my own choices, even if that's not always true in reality. It's how I feel that's important. What drives me mad is when my boss or spouse tries to micromanage me. I can be so stubborn that if he or she says, do this, then sometimes I deliberately go out of my way not to do it that way. In fact, I can get downright angry when I feel constrained by rules of bureaucracy. Give me laissez-faire any time. And of course those taxi drivers when I'm stuck in the traffic. Sure, I hope you're not trying to gain control over me with that question. I've always felt that I need to be free of restrictions. I don't know if it's something to do with the way I was brought up, or just my natural personality. I like to have a boss or environment that's empowering. That is, gives me freedom to do my own thing. I feel claustrophobic when forced to do things in a particular way. For threats, I plan to make sure that I feel that I have some options or choices, rather than being told specifically what to do. To increase my rewards, I like to do my own planning and design, and work my own hours. Working within sound policy frameworks also help.
Relatedness is the 1, 2, 4th element, and that people have a sense of security and respect and caring for one another, so that people feel that they can that more than just the content of their words is taken into account and cared for as a whole person.
It is very important for me to feel welcome and accepted. When this happens, I am very happy, and it means that there is less likely to be major conflict around me, and other people will be happy too. I like to be part of a group or a team and will put their needs above my own. It is even better if I get to trust them and for them to trust me. We can overcome anything if we trust one another. Meeting new people in unfamiliar places makes me nervous. I am never sure how they will react to me or if they will accept me into their group. I prefer to know someone at a new place, meeting or party before I go. People who do not do what they say seems to be untrustworthy to me, and I withdraw from them. I look at people and situations and decide who is friend or foe, and if it is safe or threatening. If I decide that I like you and it is safe, I will collaborate with you, trust you and have empathy with you. I will do my best to connect to you at a level you feel comfortable with, and we will share a lot. We will open our group to similar thinking individuals and grow stronger because we belong. If I experience you in a negative way and I feel that I cannot trust you, I will withdraw from you and activate my threat response. I'm likely to become lonely, even increasing my risk of death through stroke or heart disease. The response of not feeling related is equal to pain, hunger, thirst, or fear for me. In a work situation, I will be far more productive and positive if I relate to the organization, its service or products, systems, values, and the people I work with. Therefore, it is in my true interest to choose wisely. Minimizing threats. I want to make sure that my organization creates safe spaces where staff can share and have more informal meetings with each other. To increase my rewards, I will create smaller groups where staff are comfortable with one another and also allow for coaching for all members of my staff.
And then finally, fairness. That, if there are awards, they will be distributed equitably, fairly, and which doesn't mean that everybody always gets the same, but that there's some principle on which there's a fair distribution of rewards.
Truth be told, I find it a little unfair that I'm so cut off from my fellow symphonic teammates down there in South Africa. I find it difficult that our network here in Namibia promises wonderful connectivity, but and except for costing me a lot of money, I'm unable to stay connected. Well, they should not promise me services which they're not able to deliver, Now that you're mentioning it, maybe I should explore that a little bit more. I can tell you one thing about me. I really dislike people who do not walk the talk, Specifically people who go on and on about values. Those are mostly senior people, but and who live life and act quite opposite to what they say they do. One wonders how these people actually made it to the top. Well, the least said the better on that subject, I suppose. Do you actually also experience that in your country? Life, is unpredictable at the best of times. As a member of various teams, both in my business and my private capacity, I think it would only just be fair to always strive to act transparently, create opportunities where all can talk to each other. I believe in co-creation of the environment that we operate in. Participate in rule making, allow others, and of course me, to establish the rules. I think that pretty much would be my plan.
So when those conditions are set, then it is easier for people to engage in conversations where I put my 2 cents worth in and listen to your 2 cents, and then we add those together and it equals 6 cents. So that's the effectiveness of teamwork when it's done, in a collaborative, contingent way. And a conversation is contingent when what I say affects the flow of conversation, just as what you say in response to what I say affects the flow, rather than one person saying, okay, this is what you're going to say next, and this is who talks next, and this is. So that's kind of the framework. And the reason, so you're saying, what does neuroscience say about this? Neuroscience, from many different strands, supports the importance of these 5 strong elements.